Good morning, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. Yes. So today is the 28th of September. Woo, boy, has September flown or what? October's almost here. Anyway, I'll stop singing. The moon's still in Pisces, probably why I'm singing. And the moon's in Pisces. Sometimes I think I'm in a Broadway musical. The moon is in Pisces and I'm feeling kind of mystical, magical. The moon makes a sextile to Uranus about 8:30 this morning here on the East Coast, opening the lines of communication to out of the box. It's all out of the box when the moon's in Pisces. And Uranus, while in Taurus, is still kind of out of the box. But we can communicate, and this is something that has been brewing in my head for a long time, which means it's really, really strong tea, right? How we have to find a way, and there are ways, because I've experienced it myself, to communicate with nature. Uranus in Taurus, and have a conversation and get in alignment. I think one of the reasons that people don't do this is because they don't realize they can, and they're not exposed to the idea. But everybody who's anybody who isn't terrified of bugs will go outside on a beautiful day and feel better coming back in the house, right? So why not use that to our advantage? We are half hummus, human, right? We're half earthly and half divine. And you get all caught up in your divine nature and you forget about the fact that you have a body and you have feelings. It's a recipe for disaster. This is why we're so crazy, because we depend on the mental side of things, and we try to put the emotional stuff. Well, we won't deal with that right now. We'll do that after the job is done. Well, the job that has to be done is to heal the emotional body, is to open up to healing to each other. Boy, this sounds like a Pisces Moon sextile Uranus moment, which actually at this time of the day is about 20 minutes away, because it's a little after 8 here in the morning. We also have the moon make a conjunction to Neptune, as it does every time it moves into Pisces. Neptune's in Pisces for 14 years, and it sort of supercharges the Pisces, which I've been enjoying, I have to say. But it does connect us to this magical, mystical place. And then tonight, the moon moves into Aries. So today is a time of inspiration, a time to be inspired, because we have the Aries moon coming up. It's about new beginnings, or new feelings, maybe, new ways of feeling about things. And of course, we have the full moon, which is happening early in the morning before 6 a.m. here on the East Coast. And so this moment in time, this is the time to connect with the mystical side of ourselves, the healing side, the forgiveness, the unconditional love, the compassion for others, especially those whom you don't agree with, right? What did Jesus say about your enemy? Turn the other cheek and all that other stuff. I mean, at some point we're going to have to stop fighting, and we're going to have to come together. Hi guys, who's chirping? I think it might be a squirrel, because it's so loud, but maybe there's a hawk up in the trees, which can happen too. I see quite a few Little birds flying around up there. Okay, it quieted down. Goodness gracious. Well, almost quieted down. Let's see. What else? Oh, and then we have a conjunction to Neptune and then a sextile to Pluto. So what happens? The last three things, major things that happen to the moon, is it connects pretty much all in a positive way. Conjunction, yes, because it's Neptune and it's the Pisces moon. But we're getting information from the transpersonal planets, which push our evolution. They connect us to our higher vibrational selves. And so let's start listening to that small, still voice within. Because that small, still voice has the answers to the problems that we create by not listening to that small, still voice. And my small, still voice says, love one another, find the commonality, work together with others and with nature. And there's magic. There's magic in them forests. The natives know. The indigenous know. There's a big push. The indigenous are getting rights for the first time, maybe ever, since the colonizers came in. It's happening down in Brazil. It's happening in Ecuador. And maybe it's happening in Australia. I know they're trying to do something down in Australia, and I apologize for not knowing exactly what that is. It's a lot to keep track of up here. Apologies to my Australian folk. And a year or two ago, I did a thing with Marianne from Revealing Light, and the question came up, something about, because it was when the conservatives were running the country, and we were kind of at a point where we were like, oh man, these guys are so, I can't believe they're doing this. And then it switched, right? Then they got Scott Morrison. And I did say that when the Australians connected with the power of what the Aboriginals know about the land, then everything would change for them. And so hopefully, they've been able to overcome their conditioned responses, right, to indigenous folk. All right. That's the story, Morning Glories. I didn't think I'd get to talk about anything today, but once I came out to nature, it inspired me to talk. And I like to think that on some level I talk for it, or it talks through me. Probably that's what I would say. Nature talks through me. And that's why I spend so much time out here, because some of my best friends are critters. Speaking of critters, Charlie, what you doing? You coming in? You coming? Well, is something going on? All right. Charlie is otherwise involved, listening to nature. Okay, guys, have yourself a great day. Full moon coming up. I'm going to be on with Ona later today. We're doing it noon my time, so I don't know how long it takes her to get it up, but Moonshine will be on her channel. You can check that out. We're talking about this full moon in Aries. And much love, everyone. Check out my tower scopes if you haven't. I will get the Astrology Kabbalah of October out, at least the first week of the astrology and all the Kabbalah numerology stuff pertaining to the 10th month, October, which incidentally, this month was a Tower month. And you can ask Trump about that, because he just lost his business. I was listening to Nicole Wallace, who I listen to on occasion. I like her. She's seen the light, and she talks about it. But she was talking about this, and you could hear in her voice every time she talked about how Donald Trump's businesses were getting closed down and all this other stuff in New York. You could hear the smile in her voice. She couldn't help but smile. And I wasn't watching her, so I should probably go back and watch and make sure that my theory is correct. But you know how when you're happy and then you say something and then you're smiling and you don't want it, your voice goes up a little bit. Well, that's what was going on. And all our voices are going up a little bit today. Hallelujah. Anyway, not that it's not about being happy that somebody's suffering. It's it's a sense of relief when the right thing happens. When the right thing happens and people stand up for what is right. And it's a beautiful thing. Okay, so let's all stand up for what is right. Or let's have a little nap outside in nature, perhaps. Anyway, Pisces Moon loves to nap. I'll see you later. Take care, everyone. Namaste.